What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV, here giving you the best content that you're going to find on the internet. I promise you, if you stay for 10 minutes to hear Priscilla's story, you're going to stay for the entire episode. She's just a bundle of great energy, upbeat, positivity, everything that we stand for here for on the show on Weekly Dose of Dano. Priscilla, what do you have to say to everybody before we get started?
Hot diggity dog. I am so hungry right now. I'm always hungry. There's always room for a bar of damn chocolate. But I am just loving life right now. The new year. I don't know how everybody else's new year is panning out, but mine is going fantastic. Woo! Knock on plywood. Yes.
Amazing. See, what did I tell you guys? I told you she's just so full of positivity and great energy. And we're going to talk about her story because she has a really great long career. And we have so many stories to get into. So Priscilla, sit back, and to the Positivity Posse, sit back, get ready for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it, everybody. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. We have so many great things to talk about in such a short amount of time, but you already know on each episode, we have to take the time to talk to our Positivity Posse. And I love you guys so much, man. Week in and week out. Some quick great news for everybody on our success that we've cultivated together. We have reached over 50,000 viewers, which is absolutely amazing per month. And when I did the research, you can't even fit everybody that's inside the Positivity Posse inside of one average size MLB stadium, which is, when you think about it like that, I just love to think that we are all coming together to really hear the great stories of the guests that we have, but also to learn the lessons that we need in order to be successful in our own lives, right? Because when we have this knowledge and we can use other people's stories to kind of help us with our fuel, you won't have to go through the same pitfalls, right? Hopefully we're smart enough to know that we can learn from these people that have really great success stories, and we can take that information and apply to our own life. So one of the things I want to talk to you about today is more of like a perspective piece. So yesterday I had this event that happened into my life, and it was something that was pretty serious. And, you know, when I was going through it, I didn't know what was happening. I was kind of confused. And we all know if something doesn't make sense to you, then it probably has nothing to do with you, right? But when you always know that you're being taken care of by, you know, something that's greater than us, and that we're on the right path, and that we've said those, positive mantras or prayers or whatever you want to call them, great things are always working out in our favor. So when I had this experience yesterday, I can't go too much into detail about it because it was something to do with like the medical work. But anyway, I noticed that whenever situations that you're going through, whether they're the most intense in the positive way or in the negative way, that's only accentuating who we truly are as people. So make sure, you know, we have a little bit of awareness to see whatever's going on in our lives. If we're reacting in a positive way, then great job to you. That is just showing your true character and really bringing out the best inside of you. But if there's something that's happening, whether it's road rage or, you know, you're having an argument with somebody on the street, just understand that we still need to do a little bit of work so that when these situations do arise, we can understand what they're trying to tell us about ourselves, right? If we understand that we have a little bit amount of patience and we had to experience that through that scenario, then it's just always teaching us that we need to learn a little bit more about ourselves and that we can do everything in our power in order to live the life that we truly want to live, right? If we want to live a life of peace, you're going to have to practice that through situations that are great and bad. If you want to live a lifestyle of prosperity, you need to experience kind of, not being prosperous to understand what it is that we truly want. So I want to share that with you. Just understand, no matter what you're going through, it's all teaching you more about yourself. And when you learn a little bit more about yourself, you can figure out where your strengths and your weaknesses are, and you can use that all as fuel to really live the great lives that we've come on this earth to live. So everybody, that's just what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, we're close to 54,000 listeners every single month. And I'm really, really excited to bring Priscilla on to talk to each and every one of you so you can learn more about her story, feel her infectious energy, and do everything that we can and just really savor the time that we have with Priscilla here, even though we did start a little bit late, technology issues and all that great stuff. But with this time, please savor every single second, because Priscilla Leona is really a legend in the Hollywood community. She's been around for so long, over 2 decades, and with a career lasting that long, you have to be doing some things right, in order to be in this business, because we all know there are people that have come and gone, but the people that are truly led by a life of legacy and purpose, they're the ones that are here to stay, and we have Priscilla on as a demonstration of that. So everybody, I need you to welcome Priscilla onto the show. Put some hearts on the screen, put some likes, do whatever you have to do to welcome Priscilla, because it's time to bring her on. Priscilla, Priscilla, stop being so positive. You got to come do that on the show, right?
I'm gone. Come back. There I am. I'm back. All right. I tell you, it is so dangerous going live. You never know what the hell's going to happen. I loved that term you used, the positivity posse. May I borrow that? Is that something I can add to my lexicon?
Yeah, definitely. Just as long as you welcome everybody with your positivity posse, you're more than welcome to use.
Wow, I love the positivity posse. And earlier when you had asked me to say something as an intro, I was caught off guard, and I wasn't thinking about it. But as you were talking, I thought, January is. I always start things on the day one. The first month or the first year. So I was thinking about what you were talking about, and I thought, January, even though it's February, when you start and you're making your goals and objectives or your resolutions, I really think you should think about 365 days being your life chapter, like a chapter, and you're going to write it. So what are you going to write in your life chapter every day? Hopefully it's something positive with the positivity posse. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. What did I tell you? She's coming out absolutely electrifying it, having everybody else see the fire that's inside of them. And seriously, Priscilla, thank you so much for coming on today, being patient, and sharing your story with us. We have so many things that we need to talk about. And you know what? Since we're on the subject, let's do that right now. I'm going to use your own question against you. So we're going to start out in the fun way. So if you had to write a memoir about your life, talk about what the title of the chapter would be, and what would be the favorite thing that you would want everybody to really read in your memoir.
Well, I think, and I say this to everyone, it's something my grandmother taught me. And it's a no is a yes in disguise. I will not accept no. I will beat the hell out of something until I get my yes. So don't think of it, you're trying to make a sale and it's a no. Well, you know what? Call them back and pound them with positivity. And I think that you'll end up getting your yes. Because I always think, you said no. It's really a yes, but we'll go through the motions. But writing a chapter, my God, I feel like I'm on my 3rd chapter of life. As you were saying, she's been in the business over 20 years. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so old now. What the hell's happening? But I'm going to write my last chapter. I'm going to do it up, because if I don't do it, who is? I can't be, you can think of yourself as having one foot in the coffin and another one just like you're lifting it up. It's going in there. No, try to have fun. And that's all. That's what I'm about. And I'm not even on any medication. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't know. I could have ADHD, but I wasn't diagnosed. My mother's like, there's something wrong. I'm dragging you off there's too much energy. And I'm like, yeah, it's another day.
Yeah, you could see that energy pouring into all your projects that you do. So it's a good thing that you have this proper way to channel all of your energy, whether it's being a film judge, whether it's doing Question Reality, which is your talk show, and then all of your other projects. I know we're going to be talking a little bit about the Christmas Switch, and you're going to tell us about that. But like I said, it's important to find these channels and these different ways that we can turn this energy for something positive. So Priscilla, besides, being a film judge, besides having your own talk show radio, what are some keys that you can let the Positivity Posse know about that they can use for their own channeling?
Well, my Positivity Posse, I've stolen that from you from now on. But I think that, and this is not, I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before by millions of people, but I really think in life, whatever career that you want to do, plan A is always going to be the dream career. So you should really try to do everything you can to make it happen. But you also have to be realistic, and you got to have the backup plan B. And then you got to have a plan C. It's like the dream job, yes. But a lot of people, as you know from watching American Idol, a lot of people will think that they are suited and they really want more than anything to be a famous actress or director or producer, and they want it more than anything. And their family and their friends are like, yeah, you can do it, little Susie. Oh my God, you're so great. But you really always have to keep a little dose of reality. So, of course, pursue the dream career if you can. Not everyone can do that, because sometimes dreams are expensive, especially being an actor, headshots, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So plan B. Always think about having a plan B. And that's a job where you're in the career that you want to be in. It may not be the dream job, but you're right in there. You might be behind the scenes, but you are getting a taste of the action, and you're content. And then plan C, if plan A and plan B don't work out, which they should, but if they don't despair, because plan C can always be the hobby that you love to do. Say, for example, if you want to be an actress and it doesn't work out for you the way you wanted to, you can always, and I love community theater, my background's community theater, you can always do it as a hobby. It will keep you content and satisfied and energized, and you're still part of it. And that's plan C. So try to always have 3 plans in action.
I love that. I love that so much. And just the fact that you said it can turn into a hobby too can be a good thing, because as we know, when you're doing things that you love to do and then you actually start to get paid for them, it might not have that same love and that same fuzziness that you get with it. Like being a photographer, right? If you're going out there and you're taking pictures of the public, or if you're taking pictures of nature, when you have to do it for the job, the details and the fuzziness will start to go in a different direction as well. So Priscilla, I love that. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah, you can go into, just like you just made a great point, you can go in reverse. You can start it out with a hobby. That's plan C. Then you can move up to plan B, and then you can get to plan A. So it can go either way.
Of course. And you were saying it too. You can use that spot wherever you are right now as a learning lesson, right? Because I know I wasn't always great with people in communication, but my time back in the day being a server, that helped me a lot in the restaurant industry. So I really want to thank you for saying that, to say wherever you are right now, use it as your leverage to really get to where you want to be, whether that's soft skills or hard skills, maybe connections that you can meet certain people. and be really creative on where you're at right now. So,
Yeah.
Priscilla, I kind of want to talk about your experience because you're the best person to ask for this with over 2 decades of experience. So, what has been the barriers that these people that want to break into the entertainment industry, what have you find to be the hardest points, and give us how we can kind of fight or reconstruct those 2 points in a positive sense?
Fight for your right to party, right? So, well, there are always going to be obstacles, obviously, with everything that we do in life. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like us. They don't like the way we look. They don't like the way they walk, the way we talk. You're just not going to avoid it. So you can't take things personally. A lot of times, and I'm specifically because I'm in the entertainment industry, I'm going to speak via that route. If you're an actor, especially if you're an aspiring or starting out and you go to an audition and you don't get cast, please don't get depressed about that, because the first thing a casting director has instructions to do is to cast from a look. So you think, oh, well, I got called to the audition because I have the look, but why didn't I get called back, or why didn't I get it? Well, there could be many, many different reasons. It just means that you need to walk out of that audition and think, okay, I didn't do anything bad. They just weren't looking for me, or I didn't have the skill set at this moment. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to learn from it. So instead of focusing on, oh, I may have been too fat, too skinny, too tall, too short, I didn't do this right or that, think about the most important thing you can do, and that is to be friendly to the person. Now you're going to think this is crazy. Be friendly to the people that you meet on the way up, because you're going to see the same people on the way down. So you have to at least walk away with thinking, I think I made this person remember me. I was friendly. I was professional. I did my job. And you know what? Most of the time, my friends, I have lots of A-list casting directors, and they will tell me the person wasn't right for the role, but I liked him. I liked her. I'm going to call that person back. And they have phenomenal memories. So, as long as you're sincere. Now, believe me, casting directors, producers, they can smell desperation a mile away. So try to leave despair at the door. Don't reek of it, and don't try to be overly friendly. Very important. I know you want to impress, but they don't want to shake hands, especially pre-COVID. But a lot of people are still, from what I hear, a lot of people are still going into auditions wanting to do the handshake and then oversharing. Please don't overshare. You're there to do a job. They got a million other people. Just do the audition and move on. But just be sincere, have follow through, and that is what's going to get you back. Hopefully not on the casting couch, but you know what I mean. You'll get called back for the next audition.
Beautiful, beautiful. Everybody out there, you can use that for anything that you want to do.
That's right.
I've never heard that phrase before. How you just said the same people that you met going up is when you come back down. And a lot of people don't talk about that, because I know of a few people that have had, major success, and there's going to be a time when that phone stops ringing and they don't know what to do or how to cope with it. So, Priscilla, it just seems like you're really set into reality. So how is it that how can we like define our own reality to not be like too ambitious or not too down on ourselves? What's that sweet spot?
Well, it's ironic that you said that, because the name of my radio show is Question Reality. And that just simply means that your reality changes on a daily basis. It really does. You can have a bunch of money in a 5-bedroom house one day. The next thing you know, you're living under the damn bridge. You just can't ever be content. But yet you can't let anxiety boil inside of you and think that there's a time crunch. So that balance always has to be right in your mind. You really have to say, okay, did I do enough today that I can relax and prepare for tomorrow. But I'm not going to be thinking about too much. So it really has to do with balance, because you can stress yourself out from many different things in life. And then the next thing you know, you got bags under your eyes, you got wrinkles, you know, you're sighing and moaning all over the place. Your husband's divorced you, your wife is with the lawnmower man. And it's because you brought this on yourself by worrying too much. People, think about the people who you like to be around. You like to be around happy, positive people, but not somebody that's crazy like a Pollyanna and is like, oh my God, oh, it's so great. Oh, you look so good. That's another thing I'm going to point out. Please relax with the, oh my God, you look so great. Every time you see someone, so especially producers and directors and casting directors, they hate it. They really, really do. They're not going to tell you that, but just, you know, limit yourself on that. Be sincere and genuine. You don't have to say that somebody looks great. You can just say, replace it with something else positive. But wow. I just think there's so much to do in life. And when you think about it, it goes so fast, and nothing will age you faster. And what, I'm in the entertainment industry, so it really is about keeping a youthful appearance. And I'm not just talking about physically, I'm talking mentally as well. So if you're an older person who's coming in on the scene, say, for example, you work for the post office your whole life and you're like, damn it, I've had it. I am going to throw these damn letters down the manhole and I'm going out to pursue a career. Perfect example. That lady did that on ER a long time ago. She started her career at like 40, but you got to just remember that you can start a career at any age pursuing any career. You may not be an Angelina Jolie, you may not you might not make it to an A-list status. Sorry, they use that here, A-list, B-list, C-list.
Yeah, hey,
hate that term, but at least you can do something.
I told you, to my positivity posse, she's just giving you guys the golden nuggets. I hope you have your pens. I hope you have your notebooks or anything to write all this down, or you can just watch it again, because you're really dropping that sauce on us right now. And Priscilla, I just want to go to a quick commercial break to hear from our first sponsor of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. But when we come back, I want to talk about what you just mentioned. And it's so critically important to understand that what mode are we receiving more information? And so when we come back, we're going to really dive deep into that. And here's the first word from our sponsors, great success. And don't go anywhere, like, share, do whatever you have to do to raise your vibrations to match me and Priscilla, because it's time to be here for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano. Here's our sponsor. So everybody, that was our first sponsor, Great Success. Thank you so much for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV. We truly appreciate it. And look, the content is so good that now my camera decided it wants to go blurry. But that's all right. I'll fix it in just a second.
Are you blurry? I can't see a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You need some stronger prescription right now. I'm just messing with you. So I really want to talk about what you just mentioned, and the power of the awareness that you did have is so crucial and important. So you just said that when you're going about life, you can't have that state of worry or fear and anxiety. And a great example that I want to provide in addition to that is when you're going to play the lottery, right? If you're out there buying scratch offs or you want to go, buy the ticket, Are you doing it from a place of worry and lack that you don't have enough to pay your bills right now? Or are you feeling that great feelings of what it's going to be like when you actually win? So Priscilla, can you talk about that? Like, what do you do in order to combat that, to make sure that anything that you're doing it with a positive side and not a fear-based side?
Well, I think that you need, this is called show business. Focus on the business aspect, because even the A-list actors, the stars, the celebrities from yesteryear, most likely they had people to help them invest wisely. But as we have seen and heard, that's not always the case. You have to be vigilant in constantly learning the business aspect. What to do, what do you don't do. Constantly upgrading and elevating your communication skills. Even if you have to practice in the mirror, you might look like a fool, sound like a fool to yourself. But believe me, it takes practice, and you always want to bring about your very best spirit, and your spirit can be released when you feel good about yourself, and you feel good about yourself when you're educated in many different areas. And I don't mean necessarily book smarts. I'm talking educated in the ways, whatever way it is in the world or career you're pursuing. But always, I cannot stress this enough. We've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. It's expensive to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. And again, I'm just focusing on that. It takes a lot of money for gas. My God, you got to sell your firstborn to get a year's worth of gas these days. So it takes money for gas, time, effort. Your car might break down. You have to be worried. No, I don't want to use the word worried, but you've got to be aware that you need money. You cannot be spending your last cent on the bus to go to an audition. Now, we've heard these wonder stories about, I was on my last penny and I went to the audition and I ended up getting cast and now I'm a star. Yes, that can happen. It's happened to a lot of celebrities and stars, but you can't be using the wing and prayer method. You really have to focus on, how can I be making money in the background in case this career doesn't pan out? I'm going to put my all. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to put my disco shoes on and go disco dancing with the best of them. But I need to make sure that my lights stay on. I need to be getting a Snickers bar in my gullet. You got to be thinking about how to pay the bills. And also think about in chapter 3, I'm in chapter 3, where are you going to get your money, where you retire? It's all fun and games when you're young and you think that you have a million years to go, that you've got the life of the dinosaur, right? But it's just not realistic. So you can be fun and have a dream, but you really have to focus on putting a little nest egg on the side. And who knows? It may end up that you are walking the red carpet and you have so much money you don't know what to do with it. But just worry about getting the bills paid. Very important that I really want to say this, Dan. It's so important. Everybody who is aspiring to be in the entertainment industry and they want to go to New York or they want to go to LA, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of people come out here with just the bare minimum of money. Yeah. We know that LA is expensive. We know that New York is expensive. So you think, I'll get into a roommate situation. But think about this. You are with other people. Mostly you may not know them. They're going to have moods. They're going to have ways. They may be dirtballs. They may be neat fanatics. You don't know what you're getting involved with. So that is going to affect your mind, your body, and your spirit. If you're an aspiring actor and you have to go to an audition, it may be a roommate fight situation. Somebody might be pulling somebody's weave out of their hair. the night before. Somebody might be bringing a penknife on you. You don't know who you're going to get involved with.
Especially with LA.
Especially LA. They will F your shit up out here and in New York.
Seriously. When I went over there, I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I had a friend, I was in her house, and she lives in West Hollywood, and she pulled out her phone, and she goes, "Oh, this is interesting." I said, "What's that?" She goes, "Oh, there's a guy walking around with a flamethrower on the streets." I said, "What? What is going on over there?"
Yes, Lord, you people don't know what the hell goes on out here. I mean, I moved out here in 1992 to go to UCLA, and it was glorious out here back then. Now you walk down Hollywood Boulevard, there's a news report, somebody gets stabbed in the head. They will. I mean, you're lucky if you get mugged these days, but people are out to kill your ass. I'm just saying.
No, it's so true.
If you move out here and you don't have a lot of money to be able to get your own apartment and you're in a roommate situation, chances are you're going to be living in an area that is not somewhere that you want to live. Very dangerous.
No,
and
everybody,
they're not thinking about that.
Yeah, you need to be prepared for it too. You must have done your research on me, because I have a few friends that actually are experiencing what you were talking about, and that's why, that's one of the reasons why I have you on and other professional actors, because I know a lot of people want to get into there, but they're not really certain about the problems that they need to face. So it's what you said. Make sure that you are coming into it with a realistic view, but keeping that spirit of the dream going. And Priscilla. Why did you, out of all the careers that there could possibly be, why did you decide to choose the entertainment industry?
They say, and when I say they, that is scientists, biologists, people that make up the they group. They say that when you are conceived, when the spark happens, 50% of your personality is already, it's done. Whoever you're going to be, 50% of your personality is already written in the stars, so to speak. The other 50% comes from our socioeconomic background, from who our parents are, who our friends are, where you live. That is what is going to determine a lot about who you are and how you get through things and how you deal with it. Hopefully you do have a parent or parents that still believe in doing the right thing and teaching morals and values and ethics. But it's hard. Things have changed. Parents work 2 and 3 jobs now. So a lot of times what's happening is the young kids, they are getting stuck on their phones, watching, playing video games, Grand Theft Auto. No offense to Grand Theft Auto people, but that's a very violent game. And it does teach children to be super aggressive. So it's pretty dangerous if you don't unfortunately have someone to help, at least try to guide you. And I am Irish and English, and I grew up with a very Irish English background, and it was a different world back then. But oh no, my grandmother, you do something she doesn't like, she could hit your ass at 150 paces with a shoe. But she didn't. She always threatened, but there were no shoes ever thrown. But it was just the threat. But you just have to kind of say, would I want this person? Would I want this done to me? Would I want somebody to say this to me? Would I want this done to me? And if the answer is no, don't do it to anyone. It's
the golden rule. That everybody knows that rule. I think.
I know. But But you know what, Dan? You'd be surprised. I don't know. You might be in Chicago and you lived in LA. You'd be surprised at how many people have no common sense. And they will say things to you to hurt your feelings. They'll do things to you. They will, if there's an audition and you tell your roommate about it, they will find a way to get to that audition before you. It's a very cutthroat world. And just because we may not be people to compromise our morals, values, and ethics, you cannot assume that anybody else is like that. But yet you have to always maintain your professionalism and treat people with kindness
Of
always.
course. Boom, drop the mic. And everybody out there too, just to add to what Priscilla was saying, is that whatever perspectives or opinions that people have about you, that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with them. So always take that going forward. Like if somebody's angry and they want to lash out at you, you just say, okay, you're having a bad day. You know, I'm not going to talk to you right now. I have some things that I need to focus on. But always understand that too. It's nothing about you. It's everything to do with them. So we just have to hear a word from our second sponsors as well, which is the Power of We Symposium. This year, they are going to do another event in October 24th. And we're in early talks. If you guys remember, I was the MC for them on the main stage to speak to over 300 kids in the Chicago area. And this year, they upped it to over 750 kids. So we're in talks about doing that again as well. So here's a quick word from them. Really, really great and close company that I'm with. And I'm just so honored to be able to play this commercial for everybody. So take a look. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. And Priscilla, when we come back, we're going to dive a little bit more into your journey and into your story as well. So here it is, everybody. Our second sponsor, the Power of We Symposium.
Years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
So everybody, that was the Power of We Symposium. Thank you for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Their events are absolutely amazing. And I'm super excited to be going back there next year. This year, October 24th in Chicago as well. So they're going to be flying me out from Philadelphia, Priscilla, just to let you know where I'm from. But it's absolutely, absolutely amazing.
Oh, did you know? Oh, yeah, I'm from the East Coast too. So we got the East Coast thing going. Well, you're Midwest. Were you born? I'm sorry. Did you say you were born on the East Coast? You have an accent. You have an accent. Is that New York? Is that New York? Is that New York coming at me here?
South Jersey. You're the second person to say that.
Oh my God, I love Jersey. I had the best time going to parties in Jersey. Every weekend there was a party in Red Bank, Egg Harbor, Camden, Trenton. And they were always raising the roof up in Jersey. Love my Jersey people.
You're from Camden. I'm surprised that you knew about it.
I did not know. Dan, I swear, as God is my witness, I did no research on you before I came on this show because I don't like to do that. I don't like to know about things before I come on a show. I like to discover as I go. But I didn't know. I know nothing, literally nothing about you except you're really super cute. But other than that, Camden, there was parties going on. And that's a good... You brought up something. There is definitely an East Coast mentality or a West Coast mentality. I'm going to say Chicagoan. I don't know if that's a thing. And a Southern mentality. So that really, that approach, has a lot to do with your interaction with people. And I would say that you should stick to your roots and be authentic about it. People come out here and they're from the East Coast and they try to blend. You cannot blend with a person from LA. They are mostly, again, not always, in general, they're usually a little bit more laid back and mellow and chill. Whereas people on the East Coast are like, da, 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 da. I'm high energy, I talk fast, I think fast. While you start talking, I've already thought about the next 3 sentences you're already going to say. I already know what you're going to say. And I have to sit there and wait.
That's how I know you know what you're talking about, because everything that you said, as you said with everything else in the episode, has been absolutely spot on. So thank you for that. And I want to touch a little bit on the parties. Maybe it's in the partying setting, maybe it's in the professional setting, but I want you to share with everybody watching the Positivity Posse, what unexpected encounter did you have with an industry professional, and what lasting impact has it made on you? It can be a good thing, a good impression, or a bad impression. Totally up to you which way you want to tell us, but let us know what that is.
Oh my God, Dan, I got decades of stories I can tell. Oh my God, I could tell stories. Okay, but you know what? I'm not going to tell stories. I'll tell you why I'm not going to tell any bad stories, because that is never the right thing to do. Never. Real quick, you go into a casting director's office. You have to remember that receptionist, that casting associate, is listening to everything you say and do from the time you walk in. Do not participate in conversation with other actors. They're busy learning their lines, going over their stuff. Don't talk about another audition that you went on where the celebrity was a bitch. Don't talk about no negativity. Leave that at the door. You can talk to your mother about that or your husband, but do not talk about those things when you go out for an audition or on the set. Another thing, big pet peeve of casting directors, director, producer, no. Do not approach them and want to take a picture to post on your social media page. You are done. Done. It will spread like wildfire. As soon as they go back, they will hit the delete button. You will be gone from the system. So please don't do that. So many people still do that to this day. And, I have so many celebrity friends, and I've had them for many decades. And the reason I keep them as friends is because I don't tell anyone about when I go hang out at their house, when we order pizza, when we go over there. They like to stay in because, going out is such a thing for them. But don't talk about their business. Do not, if you meet them, if you happen to become friends with celebrity, do not ask them for pictures. You should never do that, because they know that you're trying to take advantage of their celebrity, and that's it. So I would definitely say that. Now, one thing a big pet peeve of mine is people who like to pass themselves off as producers and screenwriters, and they will ask their family and their friends and all these people for money to do a project because, yes, let's give them their credit. They're trying to do a project. If your doors are not being beaten down, pioneer your own way, but do it properly. A lot of people just want a credit on IMDb. So they will start a project just so they can put it on IMDb. They will put down the credit. They run out of money because they didn't properly figure out how much the budget was going to be. And all of the poor cast and crew who donated their time and effort, they're left with nothing. They're lucky if the person even follows up and puts their credit on IMDb. But you'll see a lot of statuses in production for like 10 years. But, if you are going to do that, please make sure you have enough money to finish the project. Big pet peeve. I have a lot of celebrity friends, and here's what I'm going to just tell you one thing. Okay, so the first time I met Johnny Depp, first time I met Keanu Reeves, just Ben Stiller, et cetera, et cetera. Here's what you're going to notice, and you should try to emulate. You can tell who's going to end up being an A-list person, whether it's a director, a producer, or actor, specifically actors, because when you talk to them, they have laser focus. They look at you in the eye. They listen to you. They can repeat back to you. You could say, ask them 5 questions and they would be able to answer every one of them in order because they have focus.
I have an issue with that. I don't even remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. So
well, you obviously are not pursuing a career as an actor, but most actors do have good memories, or at least the ones that are, moving on up. But well, I can't tell you who said what, but that's one of the things that most of my celebrity friends tell me is they know right away if you are trying to become a celebrity, a star, or if you really genuinely have an interest in the craft.
I love that.
Try to focus and make sure you're in it for the right reasons, because again, you're not fooling anybody. These are
they can smell it from a mile away, like you were saying. And that's with anything too. You don't have to necessarily be an actor. Like if you're trying to work in a profession that you're not doing it for the right reasons, people, they can sense that, especially somebody like Priscilla that's been in the business for over 2 decades. So I hope you guys are writing this down and experiencing what it's like to be on Weekly Dose of Dano with my positivity posse and Priscilla. And we actually have to hear a word from our third and final sponsor.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing, the JB Dundalo Foundation. I am a board member on JB Dundalo's foundation, where we provide clean water to the kids in Africa and also in the underdeveloped or underprivileged cities here in the U.S. as well. So here's just a quick word from them. Thank you so much for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV. This has been amazing. And Priscilla, when we come back, we're going to wrap it up with some future projects of things that you have going on and kind of the behind the scenes of other projects that you have. So here's a word from JB Dundalo. Thank you so much, everybody.
As a voice, we all need to stand up, as a voice, all of the song is a dedication to every single country in the world. Maintaining all the water that we have, let's not so for the we count for. Make sure the water is clean. Prevention is better than cure. A lot of lives being lost.
It's about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
Thank you, everyone. That was even through It Takes a Village Housing of South Jersey, helping women and children that have been affected by drug use. Thank you so much for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano as well. And Priscilla, I know you know what you're talking about, because even in the backstage, you were dolling yourself up, you were doing the makeup and the blush. I said, wow, I need to get on that wave too, because I need to feel what it's like to get pampered and to, present myself in front of the camera as best as I can. So, thank you so much for being here today. This is awesome.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm in hair, makeup, and wardrobe, and I do it all. We have to do it all. We don't have I wish I had a person that lived in and would do hair, makeup, and wardrobe. But I want to thank you for letting me come on your show. You are an amazing little spirit. I love your spirit. And before we go, I know you only have a couple minutes. I want, if it's okay, I was wondering if I could promote my radio show. It's called questionrealityradioshow.com. And if you're not familiar with it, what we do is we bring on Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony Award winners, and accomplished professionals. And they give tips, advice, and resource information on how and what it takes to make it in the business. And it's not just actors. We have singers, actors, dancers, models, musicians, producers, directors, authors, novelists, writers. There's a difference between an author, a novelist, and a writer. So you'll learn that when you watch my show. We have A-list casting directors. We have, you name it. You name it. For example, in April, it's very exciting. My friend Michael Orland, he was the musical director on American Idol for 16 seasons. He's going to be on the show. So if you're pursuing a career in music, you want to definitely get some tips and advice from him. And then I have my very good friend, Mary Lou Belli. She is a multiple Emmy-winning director. I'm talking like I'm Italian. Emmy-winning director. Yeah, she's gonna be on the show, and oh my gosh, we have oh god, there's so many now. I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, there's so many. Go to my radio show, questionrealityradioshow.com, and there's a schedule 2024, and you can see the upcoming guest star and what their careers are. So that is always wonderful because I will dig everything to say, what kind of advice do you have? What kind of tip? How can I make some money? How can you make, I mean, I really get the down and dirty on the guests. So they do not escape my probe. And then also, I am, oh my God, I am Dan. I am obsessed with Christmas, all things Christmas. So I'm always looking for an opportunity to produce a Christmas movie. I prefer shorts because I just don't I don't have that much time left on the earth to be doing features anymore, but shorts. So if you have any great Christmas scripts, send them to me, priscillaleona@yahoo.com. But right now, I'm one of the many producers on a new Christmas film called The Christmas Witch. And if you like the Gilmore Girls and Harry Potter, oh, you're going to love this. It takes place in Amber Valley. It's by this phenomenal writer. Her name is DeVito. And she was the writer of the Christmas movie that I worked on last time, which was called #Blessed. Dan, we swept. I mean, it's 36 awards at the film festivals, and we just keep winning them. It's like, wake up. It's amazing because it's a great movie. Now, I only like to work on Christmas films that are very Hallmark Channel, very spiritual.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
That's my thing. You know, I don't need to be I don't want to work on something where somebody's being humped. You know, I don't want to see someone hump themselves, you know, or anything. But this is called, this is The Christmas Witch. And again, it's by the mother-daughter duo, Martina Webster and Delia Faulkner. And you want to go to her website, DALEAFAULKNER.com, and you can learn about The Christmas Witch. We're in pre-production, so if you want to be an investor, my God, we're still taking donations. We just started working on it. And also, I want to tell you about, as you said, I'm a screener and judge for many international film festivals, specifically the one I want to promote that I love. I don't want to say I have a favorite, but I kind of do. It's called the Show Low Film Festival, showlowfilmfestival.com. And we are currently accepting submissions. So it's not just films, but of course most people know that scripts are submitted, et cetera, et cetera. So right now, if you go to showlowfilmfestival.com, you can submit your film. Now, who knows? I might be the one to screen it. You don't know. I don't know. But you know what's exciting?
Weekly dose of Dano in there, so they know where
right, dose of Dano. Now, here's what's exciting. Now, every year we have the festival in Show Low, Arizona. It's a huge thing. And we have celebrity panelists and people who come, or people who are very reputable in the business, very excited. You know who's coming this year, Dan?
Dose of Dano's coming through.
Yeah, so Dano is coming.
Yeah.
John McTiernan. Now, if you don't know who he is, he was the director of, God, he's got so many credits here. Let's see. He did Die Hard. Most people know him.
Wow.
He was the director of Die Hard, The Thomas Crown Affair. I can't read my own damn writing. What the hell did I write down here? Oh, Crown Affair, Hunt for Red October. Just so many. Go to imdb.com and look him up. But he is going to be a mentor, because I think you're familiar, Dan, with film festivals, how they not only show, it's a whole week event or weekend event, and they have workshops, so you can go there and celebrities will tell how they got started, what you can do, what they're looking for. They have people who are distributors, so it's the same exact thing. But if you are a fan of those movies, you want to come to the Sholo Film Festival.
Sholo Film Festival, everybody, write that down. So we have the Christmas Switch, the Sholo Film Festival, and Questing Reality Talk Show. If you want to learn more and hear more from Priscilla, she will be going live to give you all the golden nuggets that she has to offer from her experience and from other experiences from other celebrity and professional industry leaders as well. So, Priscilla, we always wrap up the show with the same exact question, and we literally only have like a minute and a half left. So if you can give us the condensed version of this question, here it is. So if there's somebody watching and they're in their deepest, darkest moments for the show, or wherever they are in their life, what pieces of advice would you have to give for them in order to get out of that slump?
Well, I would actually tell them to reflect and ask themselves the question. And here's the question I think they should ask. If you could go back in time to when you first started pursuing the career that you really want to pursue, or do the thing you really want to do, what advice would you give yourself now based on what you've experienced from the beginning until now?
I love that. And that's such a great thing, because a lot of people, they'll give the greatest advice to their friends, but when it comes to taking it themselves, they're not sure how to implement it. But by you doing that, you're putting them in the position of that friend. And we all know what we need to do, so just have the confidence to do it. And like you said, do that time for that introspective reflection and really figure out what we need to do or what we need to change to experience the best lives that we can. So everybody, you can reach out to Priscilla Leona on all the social medias, Instagram, YouTube, IMDb, all of these great areas as well. So Priscilla, thank you so much for coming on today, dropping your golden nuggets for the Positivity Posse. We absolutely love you and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Dano. And I think I've got my dose of Dano for the day. It's better than get a dose of the clap, right? A dose of Dano.
So everybody, make sure you're staying protected out there. Priscilla just brought that up. And also, we have a super secret guest for next week who's absolutely incredible. Their story is really amazing, but you're going to have to stick around and look at us on Dose of Dano at gmail.com if you want to be a guest. But if you want to learn more about the guest for next week, keep an eye on our social medias, and we'll be giving you little hints throughout the weeks to make sure that you are staying engaged and that we're doing everything that we need to do in order to live our best lives. So Priscilla, thank you again to my Positivity Posse. Have a great night. And I will see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend as well. We are out. Oh, wait, where's my, now all of this? Oh, here it is.